We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Avi Garcia, Melky Cabrera, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Adam Jones and Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set. As you know, we've taken the first two, and this is also the third of the seven-game homestand. Tomorrow it'll be the Toronto Blue Jays for 4, and tomorrow night it'll be Chris Sale against Mark Burley, so make your plans to be with us. But the Sox have taken the first two of this three-game set, looking for the sweep.
And there's no doubt that this team is fully capable of a sweep. They've done it 3 times before. At Oakland, against Houston here at U.S. Cellular Field, and then at St. Louis. So with a good performance today, a little offense, it'll happen against Baltimore again here at U.S. Cellular Field. Jose Abreu this series won a ball game for the Sox, hitting an opposite field home run. That was all it took as they beat Ubaldo 1-0. Melky Cabrera also added offensively. This was a sacrifice fly, good execution on the part of our Sox. And then Avi in right field. This was a game saver. Chris Davis hit it out of the park. Avi just brought it back. A tremendous performance, and then take a look at what they've all done on offense. Jose Abreu 3 for 8 with a home run. Avi 3 for 7 with a run batted in. And Melky, who's been hot recently, 4 for 7 with a double and a run batted in. So these guys all chipping in, the team getting hot at the right time, and I think they look pretty good for a sweep today.
Well, we're running a lot of talent out on that bump.
There's no doubt that the pitching has been unbelievable, and sometimes when the guy before you and the guy before him gets it done, then you throw a whole lot better. Carlos Rodon going to the mound, and last time out against Detroit, he gave up a couple of home runs. Didn't have his pinpoint control. That was not one of his better outings, but all in all, he's been terrific this year, and he's in the middle of a pitching staff that's getting everybody out. I look for him to do about the same thing as you see the last time out with 8 hits in 5 innings and 4 runs. Not the typical Rodon performance. I look for big things today. The defense is getting a little better. Let's sweep them out of town.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
And the White Sox, you know, is now moments away here on the south side of Chicago at U.S. Cellular Field. The White Sox going for a sweep. Before that, though, the White Sox had their top draft pick in town this week to sign a contract. In fact, Carson Fulmer out of Vanderbilt signing a contract and donating part of that money to the White Sox youth program. So a nice move by him. Of course, the White Sox loaded with lots of pitching talent, and Carson Fulmer trying to follow right in that step, come up here in the major leagues.
With Chris Sale, I mean, obviously he's from my hometown, which is nice, and you know, growing up and seeing him have a ton of success throughout his career is obviously someone I looked up to. I'm growing up, but Rodon, Samardzija, you look at all the guys. I mean, you watch them. I watch them all the time on TV, and definitely look up to them. But you know, they have a ton of success, and definitely role models for me. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know them and pick their minds out about a couple of things.
How do you balance the idea between development and, you know, the competitor and you wanting to get up here as fast as possible?
I feel like in certain ways you got to be patient. Obviously, the White Sox have a plan. You know, I'm a part of the organization now, so I just have to sit back and try to develop as much as I can as a player, and you know, just let them control it. I mean, all I go out and do is compete and try to give my team the best chance to win. But in regards to moving up and trying to get to the, you know, obviously the organization as fast as possible, it's out of my control, and I'm just going to do whatever it takes to help us win.
And Carson Fulmer from Lakeland, Florida. All right, White Sox baseball. Stephen Hawk right around the corner, so keep it right here.
You're home for the most live sports, and welcome back to U.S. Cellular Field. Let's take a look at how Buck Showalter is going to line up his Orioles for the finale of a three-game series. It's Machado, Raimo, and Jones at the top, with Davis, Pierce, and Paredes in the middle. Then Hardy, Scope, and Joseph round it out. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Avisail Garcia coming off that great catch in right field, with Connor Gillespie, Alexei Ramirez, Carlos Sanchez, and Jose Abreu at first base. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and Carlos Rodon on the hill. There's a look at Carlos on for his 10th start. His ERA a touch over 4. He's 3-1 last time out. Didn't have a great appearance for him, but kept his team in the ball game, and he's looking to be a strike thrower today against a team that can hit the ball out of the park pretty well. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Marcus Patillo is behind the plate, Scott Berry's at first, Ted Barrett is at second, and Chris Conroy is at third. So on a beautiful day for baseball, they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means that it's time to go. And I'm going to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here with WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for the finale of this three-game set. Manny Machado gets set to lead it off. 22-year-old Machado against the 22-year-old Carlos Rodon. A couple of very talented 22-year-olds right here facing one another. And he takes first pitch strike.
This is their first look at Carlos Rodon, and so the first time through the order should be much to the advantage of Carlos.
He gone.
They haven't seen that slider, and when you see it for the first time, you realize just how effective it is. This one just drops out of sight. When he gets ahead of you, that's the one he'll use, 88 to 91 miles an hour, and buries it in the dirt.
Nolan Raimo.
That's probably going to be 2 errors.
Arrow on the throw, and arrow on the muff.
And it is indeed 2 errors. Little chopper. Unfortunately, drops out of the glove, and then trying to hurry the play when he had no chance. This one goes awry.
Here's Adam Jones at 283, 10 homers, and 37 knocked in. Adam been struggling lately. 0 for 8 in the first 2 games here. Still hitting at that 283. Outfield for the most part straight up. Takes up high in the count 1-0.
Good hard slider low and in, and first time Jones has seen it. And at least for the moment, he's mystified by it, as that one was well off the plate. Adam Jones is not going to work the count. He will swing at just about everything.
Orioles come in hitting at 257 as the team with a 3.71 ERA. They were 16 and 23 on the road and 26 and 16 at home. One and two. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center on yet another beautiful day here in the city. Beautiful. Very happy 4th of July weekend. That's foul. Crushed, but foul.
That went a little too close to the strike zone. As you look at the skipper, Buck Showalter, who's seen his team suddenly go cold. But with Jones up and with a nose-to-toe strike zone, you're ahead 1 and 2. You don't have to get him out in the zone. He will expand it, either face high or down in the dirt.
Now, when Baltimore came here, they were tied for first with the Yankees. They're now 2 games back of New York in second place. 2 and 2.
Nice stop by Tyler, and he's going to find a whole lot of them in the dirt.
One of the premier players in the game, Adam Jones. And he just got a piece of that one.
Baltimore working on a 3-game losing streak, and don't look now, but our Sox are the hottest team in the American League. They've got the longest winning streak, that at 4 games.
Yeah, against some pretty good ball clubs.
Taking 2 of 2 from St. Louis was a pretty good trick, seeing as they had the best record in baseball at home and the best record overall when the boys went in there.
So that unearned run is going to cross home plate on the double by Jones.
RBI number 38. That one probably wasn't down near as much as he would have wanted it. Jones does, however, go down just out of the strike zone and drives it into left field.
Here's Chris Davis, the right fielder, hitting at .236, but he has 18 homers and he's knocked in 49. Well, from the belt down, you're in trouble. Belt up, he's in trouble.
And Davis got a low fastball from David Robertson yesterday and came an eyelash from tying up the game. But for the heroics of Avisail.
Outfielder deep, spread out, and straight up. One ball, one strike, one out, one in. Jones at second if you're just tuning in. Boy, I tell you, catching Carlos Rodon has got to be a nightmare. With the stuff he's got, the movement, those sliders, and still has not gotten into a rhythm for his control.
Well, the sharp breaking slider, his put away pitch, is the one that winds up in the dirt more times than not. So if you got to anticipate it, and it is difficult because you know you're going to take a beating if you're a catcher.
Two and two the count. Steve Pearce on deck. And a full count. Now's it back. First time in this series, the Baltimore's had a lead. And that on an unearned run. And here comes Coop. This is the sixth and final meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 5, we have won 3 of them.
Sometimes when a pitching coach goes to the mound early with a youngster on the mound, what you have to do is just remind him, you have to put out of your mind exactly what's happened before and look to get out the next hitter, because you can't do anything about what happened before, and you can't do anything about the defense behind you or any other aspect of what you have. You can control getting the ball over the plate. Also might be reminding him that Steve Pearce loves a first ball fastball.
There it was, and that's into center field. Everybody tagging. Adam hits the cutoff man. Jones into third, so 2 out. Runners at the corners. Well, if you get a guy at the plate who's a notorious first ball fastball hitter in today's culture, something's wrong if you give it to him, because of the fact all the bench has to do is whistle to the catcher and get him off the fastball.
Well, fortunately, that ball stayed in the park because it was right down the middle. It was down, and Pierce couldn't have ordered up a better one. But we got his pitch and didn't do anything with it.
But he did hit it hard.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you have that tendency, you can make it work against a first ball fastball hitter by throwing that fastball up and out of the zone. But in the zone for a first ball fastball hitter,
crazy.
You're not going to do real well for the most part.
Well, last year, Pierce wore us out in that series in Baltimore on first ball fastballs. Here's Jimmy Paredes hitting at .314, 10 homers and 38 knocked in. Underneath. So Adam Jones double knocks in Reimold, who reached on a double arrow.
Afternoon, Adam Eaton leading it off. Then it's Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera. Then LaRoche, Garcia, Gillespie, followed by Ramirez, Flowers, and Sanchez rounding it out. The defense, another lineup behind Miguel Gonzalez, Reimold, Jones, and Davis in the outfield with Machado, Hardy, and Scope, along with Pierce in the infield. Caleb Joseph behind the plate, and Miguel Gonzalez on the hill. Gonzalez gives up a lot of home runs. He's 6-5, 4.04 ERA. This is 15th start. Opponent's hitting just .239, but he's a fly ball pitcher. And he does have a splitter. It's not as good as Ubaldo Jimenez, but it's pretty good. And he depends on, like most guys, without overpowering stuff, he depends on his control.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours, as here is Adam Eaton. Takes first pitch strike. Adam hitting at .243, 5 homers, 15 knocked in. 0 for 9 in this series, so he's due. Sox hitting at .242 as a club with a 4.05 team ERA. Count evens at 1.
Gonzalez has a curve and a slider depending on what's working best on any given day. Adam just had a look at the curveball.
That's up high at 91. 2 balls and a strike. Two and two. A little flipper out in the left field. So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director of crew, well, they went with Alexi. He's going with Adam Roach, and I'm going to still ride this horse. David Novak and all the good folks at Pookie Hyundai, Downers Grove. We're going to go with Cabrera. Here's Abreu at 294, 14 homers and 44 driven in. They got the shift on. First ball, fastball, strike. Count evens.
One of the reasons why Gonzalez gives up a lot of home runs is he's always around the strike zone. And if you throw a lot of strikes and you don't have a real good sinker, you're going to give up some home runs. But as long as they're solo home runs, it doesn't really do that much damage.
Hardy. 2 down. So here's Melky. He's 4 for 7 in the series. Comes in hitting at 258, 3 homers and 29 knocked in. Melky with a huge sacrifice fly yesterday, coming on a 1-2 count. Good rip. Count evens at 1.
That fastball right in on the hands of Melky at 93, just off the plate inside. Not many people are going to do any damage with that.
He could have right there with that swing he put on it. That's out and down. 2-1. Three and 1. Right here, Melky. Touch him up. Pops him up. And that'll retire the side 1-2-3. And after 1, it is 1-0 Baltimore.
Insurance.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local insurance-wide agent, serving the area for 37 years. To visit the nation, visit jeffvuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
First pitch strike to J.J. Hardy. J.J. hitting it. 243, 4 homers, 20 knocked in. One down.
Your local Ford stores are proud to present the 2005 World Series Reunion Weekend, July 17th through the 19th. Arrive early on Saturday, July 18th, to see your 2005 World Series champions parade around the field. Presented by your local Ford stores. Together, we'll go further. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos.
Here's Scope. Jonathan Scope. And it's way back. 2-0.
The Orioles rushed him back. He wasn't supposed to be back near this soon. He had some big knee problems, and they thought they'd give him another week or two, but because of the offensive difficulties, they brought Scope back, and you just saw the reason why. He's got some pretty big power for a second baseman especially. Hitting his 4th home run of the year, his 8th driven in, and what they expected him to do is what he just did. Put a little life into this offense.
So here's Caleb Joseph hitting at 237, 5 homers, 21 knocked in, and he has faced Godin once, and he's 0 for 1. Two and 0. So you know the count. There's one with Manny Machado on deck. Full count.
This pitch is off the plate. However, he did go around a little too far. You don't want to walk this guy. He's hitting below .60 on the road this year.
Just got a piece of it.
Joseph started the first game of the series, went 0 for 2 with a walk.
So the second walk issued by Carlos. And he struck out his first trip. 17 homers. He's got 18 doubles, 1 triple. And he's 11 for 13 in stolen bases. And he throws a heck of a lot of leather down at third base. Backs Brooks Robinson, who was a Hall of Fame great third baseman, said Manny Machado does things I didn't even think about. Gets him. 2 down.
Well, that doesn't necessarily have to be a sacrifice for the simple reason that he was bunting for a hit. Wasn't a bad idea, but when you have a left-hander on the mound and you lay down a bunt, you want to push it toward the second baseman, get him falling off the mound to the third base side and make it very difficult. But they are giving him a sacrifice.
I'm not going to put a sacrifice down in my book. I got it down 1-3 attempted bunt.
Yeah. It was indeed that. But the location of that pitch made it almost impossible to do what he wanted to do. That ball was way inside. So just to get it to the right side was somewhat surprising.
So here's Reimold. He reached on 2 errors by Gillespie at third. One on the boot of the ground ball and the other on the wild throw to first. Takes first pitch strike.
There's the run expectancy with a runner at second and 2 outs. Both teams about league average to this point.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a good straight change, and if he establishes that and gives these Orioles something else to think about besides a fastball slider, he'll be in pretty decent shape. That time he had Reimold well out in front of it.
Well, the change is a great pitch, especially in the sequence that you get it. Be gone. They get the home run by Scope and they lead it 2-0.
day, and you might be today's White Sox fan of the game. The White Sox fan photo of the game is brought to you by Beggar's Pizza, now with 22 locations. Visit beggarspizza.com. Beggar's Pizza, they lay it on thick.
LaRoche, Garcia, Gillespie. We trail it 2-0. Unearned run in the first, a home run by Scope in the top half of this frame.
Wind is starting to kick up, so it's going to make it a little difficult in the outfield to judge fly balls. Probably won't make it real difficult for their center fielder. Adam Jones, one of the best. But I would assume that Reimold and Davis would have some problems. Davis is a first baseman by trade, playing right field these days.
Scope out there in short right field. And Adam with a 2-0 count. Adam hitting at .235, 9 homers and 31 driven in. That ball hit deep into center field, but they got the man out there who can go get them.
That time, unfortunately, the wind worked against Adam, who hit that ball awfully hard. Had he hit it to right center or down the line and right, would have been out easily. But the wind seemed to knock it down just shy of the track.
Here's Avi at .277, 7 homers and 30 knocked in. He has faced Gonzalez 6 times, has 2 hits, 1 home run. And of course, Avi with that game saver yesterday. And if you missed it, here it is.
The timing was just brilliant. As you can see, that pitch was down to Davis. He loves it there. And fortunately, that ball stuck in the glove. Avi timed it perfectly. But everybody, including Avi, was ecstatic.
Well, if a normal left-handed hitter hit that ball, it's probably going to be out of here. But Davis is so strong. That was just a humpback line drive that was coming down, and thank goodness that Avi made such a terrific play on. So here's Gillespie. Hitting at .250, 3 homers, 15 knocked in.
As you can see, Gonzalez throws a lot of fly balls and pop-ups. And normally, especially in his ballpark in Baltimore, you throw a lot of fly balls, you're going to have some problems, as the 15 home runs he's given up would attest to.
Count evens at 1.
In the shift, they move Manny Machado to shortstop. You see a lot of teams that keep their shortstop at shortstop because they're worried about the range of their third baseman. But Manny Machado can most likely play shortstop. He's played it before. He's very good at it. And that's one of the reasons why they shift as they do.
Two out, 2-1 to count. That is 6 up, 6 down for Miguel Gonzalez. Jones, Davis, and Pierce to face our young 22-year-old southpaw Carlos Rodon. Adam with an RBI double, knocking in Raimel for an unearned run in the first inning. First ball, fastball, strike. That's into the mezzanine section. Sox on a 4-game winning streak, trying to sweep Baltimore. He gone. Yes, that one at 96.
You see where Tyler wants it. He wants it up. Now Carlos doesn't have that pinpoint control quite yet, but he throws it right by him on the outside corner.
Hitter's got to try to reach for a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Chances are it's going to be by him. As here is Davis. He walked his first trip. Outfield, there deep, spread out. And he takes first pitch strike. Chris now 2 for 9 in the series.
Carlos does not want to throw it down there, however.
And once again, a reminder, starting tomorrow, 1st of 4 with the Toronto Blue Jays. And on the bump for us, Chris Sale. On the bump for the Blue Jays, Mark Burley. Right underneath his hands. And the count 1-2. Toronto coming in. They're leading Detroit as we speak, bottom of the 5th inning, 7-2.
Batista's hit his 17th home run. That one right off the mask. Tyler Flowers. Davis just barely gets a piece of it, just enough to redirect. Hit off the mask.
Ian Kinsler has knocked in both Tiger runs. That's high, towering into left center field.
The White Sox would like to welcome all University of Illinois alumni, students, and fans to the ballpark on Wednesday, July 22nd. White Sox are offering specially priced tickets, a White Sox Illini hat, and the opportunity to watch batting practice before the gates open. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Illini.
Pierce hit the first ball fastball he saw in the first inning deep in the center field.
The All-Stars, by the way, are going to be revealed this evening with the full roster announced tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting time of it.
There's a strike. 94. Three and one. Third walk issued by Carlos. One in the first, one in the second. Now here in the third.
And there's a look at a man that doesn't have to wonder where he's going to be over the All-Star break. It will be in Cincinnati. The only question is when he's going to go before the break, and will he start if he's on proper rest. And Chris Sale richly deserves that honor.
That's low and away. That's in the center field. Right at him. That's a hang ball from Paredes. Center cut it. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the third, trailing 2-0. and Sanchez to face Gonzalez. 2-2-0 for the Orioles. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for our Sox. One of those Oriole runs is unearned. And Gonzalez has retired everybody he's seen. The first 6 up, 6 down. Alexei hitting at .220, a couple of homers and 26 knocked in. Takes the pitch off the plate, called a strike. It was a better pitch than the first one, and count 1-1. Three and one. And there's the leadoff walk, our first base runner. One thing lost in the action yesterday, mainly because of that fantastic catch by Javi Garcia, was the fact that the pitching of Jeff Samardzija. He was just awesome.
I thought Jeff had as good a stuff as he's had most of this year. He was in control, unfortunately, and it is unfortunate that he got a no decision in that one. But also might have been lost in the action was that Ramirez, with his first sacrifice bunt of the year, and set up that run, the winning run.
First pitch strike to Tyler. Jeff went 7 2/3, giving up 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, had 9 strikeouts. Alexei, decent lead over there. Oh, 2 the count.
Alexei is a premier base stealer on this team. He's swiped 9, been caught twice. The entire ball club has 25. They've been caught 21 times.
They're going out there again. Why not?
Joseph taking a long look over into his dugout to see if they might want to pitch out. Many times 0-2, a very good pitch to run.
Make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. First of the 4-game set against Toronto. 2 big reasons. First of all, Chris Sale going for history, trying to become the only pitcher in Major League history to fan double digits in 9 consecutive starts. He's tied with Pedro Martinez now, the only 2 to ever do that in 8 games. And also Mark Burley against Chris Sale tomorrow night. That's inside. If you can make it to the ballpark, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. Outfield around to the right. There he goes. Right on the money. Right on the money by Caleb Joseph.
One thing that Joseph has always been able to do, and that is catch it and throw it. And even though Gonzalez isn't the quickest to home, that throw is right there, waiting for Alexi to run into it and get tagged out.
Tyler gets back in that box with a 2-2 count. And a full count in that Tiger game. Top of the 6th, Toronto leading 7-2. Justin Verlander went 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 7 runs earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And right here, the payoff pitch.
Friday, July 17th, come and see the White Sox take on the Royals at 7:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico, better for everybody. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
So here's Sanchez. Carlos at 167. 0 for 7 in the series. But he has made a couple of outstanding defensive plays.
And the one thing I don't believe you'll ever have to worry about is the defense. And he's got great range to both sides, but especially up the middle.
I just can't get over how much better he's throwing this year than he did last season.
It's just a question of maturity.
Yeah,
getting older,
obviously, yeah.
Getting stronger.
Yeah, just growing up. Bows that back. But it's unusual to see a guy. He's 23. It's unusual to see a guy go from 22 years old to 23 years old and come up with that much of a stronger arm.
He said he didn't do anything different.
Yeah.
So it looked like it hit him, so he's going to wind up at first base. I think that's the 6th that Gonzalez has hit, which is somewhat unusual for a guy with this kind of control. Just barely brushes off the knee. And it is indeed the 6th man he's hit, and that leads the ball club by actually a wide margin.
So we get our second base runner. And here's Adam Eaton. Takes first pitch strike. One ball, one strike, two out. Bottom of the third inning. If you're just tuning in, we trail it 2-0. They get an unearned run in the first, a home run in the second. That ball hit hard. He's not going to get that one. For Sanchez in the third on the 2-out double by Adam Eaton.
This one slicing away from Reimold, and he actually overran the ball. He's fortunate that it didn't get by him. Adam watching it as it slices away from him.
You can cancel a post-game show. That's our first hit. And here is Abreu. He grounded out to J.J. Hardy at shortstop.
And because of his ability to hit the ball to the right side in key situations, they're not going to shift near as drastically. They've got Scope playing pretty much up the middle, but he's well on the first base side of second.
First pitch strike.
And there you see how they're playing him. After the first time off, playing him with 3 of their infielders on the left side of the infield. That was a hanging curveball, and he was lucky to get away with it. It actually hung higher than Jose would have liked, but he swung through it.
There was a cookie.
Not every hanging curveball goes out of the park. It just seems that way if you're a pitcher. And there are the run expectancies with runners at second and third. The Orioles not giving up too many runs in this situation.
The 0-2 pitch. Two and two. Well, when you get Abreu up there in this situation in a 2-2 ball game, you make a good pitch on the first one, throw it right underneath his hands on the inside corner. But then you come back with a hanger and get away with it. That is living on the edge. He gets him. That'll retire the side. So we have a mile 2-out threat. Can't do anything with it. And we still trail it 2-0.
Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
We have finished 3 and we trail it by 2. For the Orioles, it'd be the lower third of their order: Hardy, Scope, and Joseph.
Certainly a lot of folks enjoying the beautiful day at the ballpark. It's 84 degrees. A lot of youngsters out today.
Good pitch, did not get it. Tyler's got to be saying, where in the world was that pitch? There's one. Count evens at 1. And it's 1-2.
Young man brought his glove. He's ready to go in case anything comes in his area.
He gone.
Fourth strikeout. Some high heat.
So here's the second baseman, Jonathan Scope.
Scope is from Curacao. Another really good player from Curacao, Andrew Jones.
It's out of play, and here's what he did his first at bat.
Took one well out of the yard. We've seen a couple of other drives to that part of the park hang up. That one just hit too hard.
0-2 the count. 86-mile-an-hour pitch on the first pitch. That one at 96 outside.
The Orioles originally signed Scope back in 2008. Made his first appearance in the big leagues in 2013. Last year, 16-45 on the power numbers.
Two down. Caleb Joseph drew a walk. Starts him off with a changeup. Another one, and the count 0-2. That one is foul.
Fortunately foul, as that one didn't miss by much, but Scott Berry right on the line. Tardy swing by Caleb Joseph. Was really struggled on the road this year. But if you can catch it well, call it well, and show the arm that he's shown, you'll find a spot to play.
That was off the plate. Down and around on that slider. So 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Caleb spent 6 years in the minor league organization of the Orioles. Last year, after being called up, Oriole pitchers had a 3.03 ERA with him behind the plate.
That's in the right field. We got a man there. First 1-2-3 inning for Rodon. We got some work to do. We got time to do it. It's the bottom of the fourth, and we trail it by 2. For us, it'll be Cabrera, LaRoche, and Garcia to face the 31-year-old veteran right-hander Miguel Gonzalez. Miguel 6-5, coming in with a 4.04 ERA. Takes the bunt and takes it down low. Melky went out to his counterpart, Nolan Reimold.
Gonzalez originally signed with the Angels back in 2004, selected by the Red Sox in the Rule 5 draft in 08. So he's been around quite a bit for seemingly finding a home in the Orioles starting rotation. Rotation that's been decimated by injuries, and as you can see, 10 over 500, which isn't too bad.
And another souvenir. And Hardy's got him. Another line drive off the bat of Cabrera. And here come Adams. Adam went out deep to center field. That's a great idea with the shift on, but couldn't get it in fair ground.
2 runs down, looking for base runners. Pretty wise play. All he's got to do is get it on the grass. Unfortunately, when you don't have the technique, you drop the head of the bat. When you drop the head of the bat, the ball goes straight up. And it trickled foul.
He got a good pitch to hit right there. Put a good pass on it, but underneath it.
Gonzalez throws a hard curveball. This is 79 and probably stayed up a little bit longer than you want as a pitcher from a hitting standpoint. Stayed up just long enough. That was very, very hittable.
Two down.
Sox fans, join us on Saturday, July 18th at 1:10 as our White Sox take on the Orioles, with the first 20,000 fans ages 21 and over is going to receive a 2005 World Series replica ring presented by Miller Lite. That's the original Light Pilsner, an official beer of our Chicago White Sox. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos.
Here's Avi. Avi popped up. And he takes ball 1. That one at 93. Up the middle and into center field. That's just our second hit if you're just joining us.
Tries to pull that one. It's going to the left side and a ground out, but staying right with it, taking it right back up the middle. Pitch out away. He winds up at first and keeps the inning alive for Connor Gillespie.
Gillespie struck out his first trip.
He's trying to do the same thing that Adam tried with the shift on. But
now, I don't know if Robin wants him to do that in a 2-run ball game.
And a right-hander coming up next.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that wasn't a sign.
No. No.
Why don't you see if you can bunt one, leave it up to Alexi.
2-1 the count. Scope way out there and short right field. Decent lead by Avi. He got it in fair ground, and that'll retire the side. So we go to the fifth, still trailing 2-0.
All position player, moved around a lot, playing first base, and he catches that one. Scott Barry says it was indeed fair, and it ends the inning. That one sneaks its way into the corner. No telling what might happen in that inning, but as it is, it's out of the inning and on to the fifth.
Top of the order here in the top of the fifth. Machado, Reimold, and Jones to face Carlos Rodon. Machado was struck out. Then they gave him a sacrifice on that bat where he was trying to bunt for a base hit. Close pitch, didn't get it, and the count 2-0.
Two straight changes in a row, most unusual, but neither of them hit the zone.
He's been the hot stick for this club for a while. Big 2-run homer yesterday tied that game at 2. That's a good pitch, and he didn't get it. So he had him struck out, and Patillo missed it. Now he walks.
Machado, who had only 2 stolen bases last year, obviously due to some knee problems, has really started to pick it up in that category. This is for a team that does not run very well at all.
That's a fourth walk issue by Carlos. There he goes. Safe.
Stolen base number 12 in 14 attempts, and when you walk a prolific base stealer, that usually is going to happen. He just got a really good jump. Tyler probably made it closer than it should have been. And Machado's in scoring position. He's going on first move, and it's a straight steal. That's why a number 2 hitter has got to take pitches.
Gotta look at him twice every now and then. Imo reached on 2 errors by Gillespie in the first inning and came around to score. There he goes. Might help to look at him a couple times.
Well, unfortunately, when you don't vary your timing and you don't take 2, sometimes 3 looks back at their premier base stealer, that's what's going to happen. So he winds up at third base, getting a tremendous jump.
Well, his behind should be in the dugout. Home plate umpire blew the call on him. He had him struck out. Calling that pitch on our guys the whole game. Now Machado gets up there. He didn't call it. That's bull. It really is. He gone.
He leaned back into that one and got 97 in the zone. He threw it right by Reimel.
So here's Adam Jones, an RBI double in the first and a strikeout leading off the third.
Infield in at all 4 positions. Bat goes flying one way, ball the other way. And it appears that everybody is okay behind the Sox dugout. A couple of young fans very close to that bat.
Well, that's close to being the longest. I think that's probably the longest one we've seen this year.
He got some distance on it.
Yeah. He'll get the award for the longest bat throw.
Jones has just 2 sacrifice flies this year. Outfield still has to play deep all the way around, respecting his power.
And the count, 0-2. Youngster did get hit with the bat, but the guy who got it gave it to him. Yanks that one foul. It's a big at bat in the scheme of things, and he's got a 0-2 count. Throw it right underneath his hands.
That's where he's trying to go.
He gone. 2 down.
He got 99 on that. Did not get it on his hands, but apparently a few more miles an hour worked out well. This ball is down the middle and low. He throws it right by Jones.
Yes, he did. Rodon is a very talented young man. So here's Davis, a walk, and then he just missed one, a high towering drive out there in the left center field. Jacks it up, fouls it off. Davis, in 2013, hit 53 homers and drove in 138. Machado, that's inside. He's well aware that Rodon's sliders, a lot of them wind up in that dirt. It was almost the same pitch. Did he walk Machado on? Or had him struck out on and didn't get the call. Be on your toes, Tyler. Just. Yeah, Robin out to see. Here comes Herm out to see if Carlos is okay.
This is not a particularly good sign, but hopefully it's not much. Occasionally pitchers do develop blisters, especially those that throw the hard slider consistently, and could very well be it was a bad step. As you see, he kind of hops through that step. Apparently everything is okay.
Yeah. That's an elbow or a shoulder.
Steven Strasburg, the ace, or one of the aces of the Washington Nationals, had to leave a game early, having some side issues. Strasburg has had a whole lot of injuries in his very young career.
All right, the 2-2 pitch. He gone. Strikes out the side after Machado gets to third with nobody out. Halfway home, we trail it 2-0.
3 strikeouts in the 5th. First, it's Reimold going down swinging. Then Jones going down swinging. This is with the man at 3rd and nobody out. Now man at 3rd and 2 outs, and that's 3 with Davis going down on strikes. The Speed Replay is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Alexei to lead it off. He walked his first trip. That was leading off the 3rd inning. They have 2 runs on 2 hits. We have no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. One of their runs unearned. One and one to count. Two-one delivery. Get us started right here. Pierce got room. 1 out.
Hey, Sox fans, all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. The day after the Sox score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com. You have to use the promo code SOX5 at participating Papa John's location. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
So here's Tyler. Tyler struck out his first trip. He's got the catbird seat, 2-0. That's going to be in the seats for a souvenir. Three and one. Just underneath it. Win. Two out. It's Carlos Sanchez. Carlos was hit by a pitch. First pitch strike.
Gonzalez working on that changeup, and while he was trying to figure out how to get a grip on it, he actually eased himself into a splitter. It's not quite as good as Ubaldo Jimenez, but it's one of his better pitches.
Here's the 0-2.
This one was blown back toward the infield, and Adam Jones has a long way to come. Then he catches it. And he starts talking with Jonathan Scope. He said, hey, I got to come all the way in? What are you doing here? You got to move back a little bit. Get a few of those. Now he's waving at him.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It doesn't happen as much today as it used to, but in years past, you had a lot of second basemen. Once that ball went up over their head, they quit on it and just stopped. Willie Randolph, who was a great second baseman for a long time, but when he first came up, that was one of his tendencies. As soon as that ball went over his head, he'd just give up on it. Then later on, of course, they got on him.
A lot of long runs for the outfielder.
That's right. They took care of that themselves. Here's the 3-2. Pierce had that glove down. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. So we'll go to the 6th. We still trail it 2-0.
The 97999 right now for your chance to win 6 meals from the Simple 6 menu from Subway. Message and data rates may apply. Subway, eat fresh.
We're into the 6th inning. It'll be Pierce, Paredes, and Hardy to face Carlos Rodon. Good pitch, did not get it.
Pitch number 95 on the way, and Carlos still has really good stuff. Hasn't lost anything from the first inning till the 95th pitch.
Pierce has gone out deep to center and walked.
love the way Tyler is easing in those straight changes. It's a work in progress for Carlos, but when he gets the good feel of that, well, you see what it's done with Chris Sale. He throws it all the time.
So the leadoff single. Just the third hit he's given up.
That's a fastball down and on the inner portion.
Paredes has hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice and then hit a line drive right to Adam Eaton in center field.
Paredes doesn't get a chance to play too much when left-handers start because he's much stronger from the left side than he is from the right. All of his home runs, 34 of his 38 runs driven in, have come as a left-hand hitter as he looks out at Carlos from the right side. Daniel Webb starting to throw in the pen as Carlos gets closer to 100 pitches. This next one will be 100. There you look at how you pile up the pitches with 4 walks and 7 strikeouts, but he's had very good stuff, limiting them to only 3 hits to this point.
And pitch number 100 is low and away. So 2 balls and a strike. There's that change. So the first 2 men aboard.
The only question here for Buck Showalter, even though it's the bottom part of the order, does he want to bunt with Hardy, who does have 1 sacrifice this year?
Hardy has grounded to short and struck out.
This whole Orioles team, as a team, only has 12 sacrifices. Buck doesn't like to bunt all that often.
And here comes Robin.
Marcus Batillo now walking to the mound as Robin takes the ball, gives Daniel Webb a chance to get loose. So as Carlos walks out, we'll step out and be back after these messages. One place. That's Cincinnati. Don't miss the '86 All-Star Game. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. And that's going to be on Tuesday, July 14th on Fox. Daniel Webb comes into the game at 1-0. He does not have an earned run average. This is his 11th appearance. He's had very good stuff. 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. He inherits a mess. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here in the 6th inning, Orioles already leading 2-0. And now maybe with a right-hander up, Buck Showalter might think that a bunt is a little bit better option.
Outfield spread out, straight up. Ivy short and right. As I mentioned, Hardy is grounded to short and struck out. Pretty good rip. Looking. First ball, fastball, he got it. And underneath it.
JJ has only grounded into 4 double plays this year in the infield. In close on the left side. Sanchez has to pay attention to Pierce on the right side.
Pops him up. Infield fly rule is called, so he's out. 1 down. So here's Scope. Got a straight change and hit it out of here, way back. 2nd inning. Then he grounded to 3rd. Threw that one right by him at 95.
The Orioles decided that they weren't going to operate on the knee of Jonathan Scope. But he had to go through a whole lot of exercises, kept him out a long time until they finally activated him here today.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Pops him up. Infield fly rule is called for the 2nd time. 2 down.
Good 0-2 pitch. That one up in the zone. Probably a little more speed than Scope has been used to. And now 1 out away from getting out of a very difficult jam in a close game.
Here's Caleb Joseph, the catcher. He has walked and he has gone out to Ivy in right field. Close pitch, didn't get it. Two and 0 the count.
There's a look at that blister that pops up. It happens much more to pitchers who use the slider than anybody else. But the stuff Carlos had today, that blister was not bothering him. He threw very well.
Threw that one by him. 96. Well, Carlos has put himself in a position right now after spring training and now season. Here we are on July 5th. When he goes out there, you expect him to do well.
He's got the kind of stuff that you can do well just about each and every time. The only thing, being a young pitcher without a whole lot of innings under his belt professionally, he's going to be spotty with his control at times.
Well, even with when he's spotty with it, you still expect him with his stuff to pitch out of it.
The only concern, and there is only one concern about this particular year with Carlos, and that is how many innings are you going to allow him to pitch? Not concerned about his stuff, not concerned about his pitching acumen, just concerned about how far do you want to extend him in this, his first full major league season.
Well, we got a pretty good pitching coach that got a pretty good grip on that. Just got a piece of it.
Well, it's really a fine line when you deal with that blister that's usually on the side or underneath a nail. You feel like you should be cutting it back, yet if you cut it back too much, then you're going to lose some of the feeling on that slider, so you can't do that. And pitchers just have to find a way to pitch their way through it until it gets hardened enough where you don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's out of play. I got one of those when I pitched an American Legion ball, and I'll tell you what, it was absolutely, it was agony.
No, it's you know, when you depend on just the feeling and the tips of your fingers to get all of your pitches in the spot you want them to get in, and just a millimeter here or there will determine wins and losses, it becomes problematic.
2 on, 2 out, and once again the 3-2 pitch. Yanks that one foul. Yeah, that blister that I had, that thing lasted almost a month. And another foul ball.
Well, you told me what you used to do when you fouled one off your foot. You'd get that blister on your toe and you use that heated up little
paper clip.
Yeah.
You know? All the toenail is protein.
How did it feel when you were putting a hole in it? All that protein.
It hurt, but it felt a lot better after it, though.
Yeah, I know. The old is going to hurt you more than it hurts me.
That's trouble. That's going to score a pair. And it's 4-0.
That pitch was out of the strike zone. And Caleb Joseph, who's got a little pop, driving in runs 22 and 23, finally got enough in the at-bat to find one to his liking. This is the 10th pitch of the at-bat. It's out away. It's not a bad pitch at all, but with the outfield playing in close, he's able to split the defense and drive it into right center field.
Machado, gotta hurry. But a big 2-run double by Caleb Joseph. We'll go to the bottom of 6. It is now a 4-0 Oriole lead.
WGN.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner for the latest stats and information. The Sox Game Zone is powered by Robert Morris University, Illinois, offering over 55 athletic teams, and that's more than any other university in the state. For more information on RMU, visit robertmorris.edu.
We trail it 4-0. Top of the order for us, Eaton, Abreu, and Cabrera. Eaton is 1 for 2, a double. Takes up high, ball 1. We only have 2 hits on this guy. A double by Adam and a single by Avi.
Well, even though he's not overpowering, he had less hits and innings pitched coming in. Opponents had only hit 239, which is a pretty good number.
It's a very good number.
When you look at the ballpark he plays in, first of all, and the fact that he doesn't have an overwhelming fastball, but he just moves the ball around and he really changes speeds well.
Well, I'm just looking at the pitches we've had to hit today. He's made some mistakes and gotten away with every one of them. But on the other side of that page, he's made some good pitches, and he's got a lot of help from the home plate umpire, especially on that low on the outside corner to right-handed hitters. Here's Abreu, a grounder to short and a strikeout. Oh, and 1 to count. Oh, and 2 the count. Made a good pitch on him. Right underneath his hands. Count hangs at 0-2. That's off the glove of Machado. So it'll be a base hit.
Normally, Manny makes this play. It had a lot of overspin on it, and as it kicked away off the glove and over the head of Hardy. So that's promising.
Just the 3rd hit, and here is Cabrera going out to left, and he's lined out to J.J. Hardy at short. It's fisted but foul. That ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get that one. That's a tweener. And here comes Abreu. Melky on his way to third base. Here's the throw. Got him. A beautiful relay by the Orioles. And it's a 4-1 ball game.
Melky will drive in his 30th run of the year, but this is not a particularly good advance to third base with nobody out. He crushes this ball, and as it rattles around and hangs up by the wall, it's our forward play of the game. It's a couple of very good relays. And a great throw to third base. Dave
now
Wallace,
there's 2 outs.
Comes out.
And LaRoche at the plate.
So Wallace, I'm talking about what he's got left. Here in the bottom of the 6th, still a long way to go. Now it's a 4-1 game. So because the bullpen just started to get loose, Gonzalez stays in there.
Adams going out deep to center and grounded to short.
Jazz Rowe loosening up in the bullpen.
But we pick up one on the double by Cabrera, knocking Abreu, and we're into the 7th.
International Golf Center. Join the fun and sign up your foursome by visiting WhiteSoxCharities.org or call 312-674-5391.
It's a 4-1 ball game here in the top of the 7th. 4-5-0 for them, 1-4-2 for us. Here is Lowe hitting for Reimold. David Lowe. He's always played well against us. And there's another base hit.
David Lowe now 2 for 4 with a pinch hitter. One of those hits, a home run.
So here's Adam. Jones, RBI double in the first inning. That was an unearned run that he knocked in.
Lowe's had 1 stolen base in 5 attempts. I don't think they're going to run much with him. Dan Jennings back and healthy and throwing in the pen.
Two and 0 the count. Adam spends a lot of time in the community in Baltimore with the Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCA of Central Maryland, and also Baltimore's RBI program. 3 and 0 the count. Come back and get him. Pass ball 4. Here comes Davis and probably Jennings.
Don Cooper making the slow walk out. Normally this means that you're going to go with Webb. We don't see Don taking too many of the guys out. Just some words of advice on what they want to do with one of the most powerful men in baseball, Chris Davis. And with that in mind, Marcus Patillo is going to come out and break this up. Chris Davis just one of the many power hitting first basemen that came up through the Texas Ranger organization. And routinely they would trade them off and get whatever else they might need for them.
One thing about the Texas organization, they probably have as good a scouts for hitting as there is in baseball.
They brought up some real good hitters.
And there's a base hit up the middle, so that's going to score a run. Now Jones on to third, and it's a 5-1 ball game.
That's the 50th run driven in by Chris Davis.
And here's Pierce. He's 1 for 2. Started off last inning with the ball just out of the reach of Gillespie. Came around to score. Infield in. Runners at the corners, nobody out. That's by him. Another run scores. And it's 6-1.
Doesn't matter how fast that fastball is. Steve Pearce loves fastballs. It's RBI number 23. And that's going to be it. So Daniel Webb will get scored on for the first time this year. Dan Jennings will come into the game. Webb will walk out. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Mobile and connected devices. You get real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. So Dan Jennings comes in the ball game. His first outing since June 4th. He was on the disabled list, did his rehab. He is back now, reinstated before Wednesday's game. There you look at the numbers. On for the 23rd time. And he inherits Orioles at first and second. They've already put 2 up. And there's nobody out here in the 7th.
Here's Jimmy Paredes. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Takes that fastball high and wide. One out.
Brady's absolutely crushed that ball. In fact, it was hit so hard that the base runners didn't have a chance to get doubled off. Normally you'd see at least one of them doubled off somewhere. But this one left the bat, stuck in Gillespie's glove, and then there was no play.
Here's Hardy, grounded to short, a strikeout, and a pop up to second. Want to know the count? The 32-year-old veteran shortstop. Who won a Gold Glove last year. It's inconceivable to me that he had a better defensive season last year than Alexei.
No, I'm not sure why Alexei didn't get that one. It could very well be that people just, well, nobody sees him as much as we see him, but if you saw him every day last season, it was just a remarkable defensive year for him. He made spectacular plays. He usually does that, but he had such great range and was accurate with all of his throws. It was just one of those magical defensive years that unfortunately did not end with a Gold Glove awarded to him.
Balls and a strike. Knocks it down, picks it up, goes to second with a bad throw. And that'll load him up.
Most likely will be E1, and sometimes the pitcher has some time, but in real time he thinks it's a lot less. So he rushes his throw, and that compounds the problem. Does a nice job of knocking it down. Then he does have plenty of time, but unfortunately he doesn't take that, what's called a crow hop, that one step before he makes the throw. You see, he catches it and throws it flat-footed, steers it right into the ground, and no chance for Sanchez. It is E1.
And here is Jonathan Schoop. If you're just tuning in, this has not been a defensive gym for our club. Now right to the bag, bobbles it. No, this is not our day.
That's usually going to be 2 and out of the inning, especially with as sure-handed as Carlos has been this year.
That's just his second error.
And it does go as a run batted in for Schoop. And E4. And normally that's an easy 2, but not this time. 4th error.
Now he started off bad in the first inning, giving him a run with 2 errors. And that has set the tone for the game.
Joseph, who had a big double, drives in his 3rd of the game and 24th of the year.
So it's 8-1. Here's the 9th man to come to the plate, Machado. He's 0 for 3 today with a walk, a couple of stolen bases. Then he takes strike 1. Now we talk about it. First rule in the game. You got to catch the baseball. You got to catch the ball. I don't care how good you pitch. I don't care how good you hit. You got to catch the baseball. Because if you're giving them 32, 33 outs like we gave them today, you're probably going to get beat. They'll do it, but they put a crooked number up there. We go 7th inning stretch, 8-1 Baltimore.
Leagues. It's an 8-1 game as we move into the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Orioles have a new pitcher, and it is Chaz Rowe. Rowe 2-1 this year. His ERA pretty good, 2.45 on for the 18th time. Only given up 16 hits in 22 innings. Given up a couple of homers, walked 8. Fan 23. And he's going to have to face Garcia, Gillespie, and Ramirez here in the bottom of the 7th inning. David Lowe stays in the game. He came up with a pinch single and stays in the game in left field. So Avi fouls that one off. He's 1 for 2, a pop-up, and a base hit in the 4th inning. Overall, you look at the numbers, the outfield playing him a couple of steps into right center. Throws a high fastball by him. Gunnar Gillespie in the on-deck circle.
Good pitch, and Gonzalez did not get it.
That one had the whole plate.
There's been a guessing game back there today.
This is the 8th organization that Rowe has pitched for.
Chaz Rowe. One out.
Scott Carroll loosening in the pen.
Eight runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1 run, 4 hits, and 4 errors for us.
Yeah, normally when your hits and your errors are the same number, not going to be a good day for you.
We have 57 errors. The Orioles have 38. Gillespie has struck out and grounded to first. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. First of a 4-game set with the Toronto Blue Jays. Chris Sale against Mark Burley. Scope throws him out for 2. 2 down, that'll bring up Alexei. Alexei has walked and he is fouled out to Steve Pearce at first base. Breaking ball, no chance.
Miguel Gonzalez had a very good day today, going 6 innings, giving up just 1 run on 4 hits, 1 lone walk, and 3 strikeouts.
He caught us on the right day. We had some good pitches to hit and just couldn't do it. And there's a base hit in the right field. So here's Tyler. Tyler 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop up to center field. Back in that Toronto series, those guys can hit. Blue Jays can hit. We're going to run Sale, Quintana, Danks, and Samardzija out there. So the Blue Jay hitters are going to have their work cut out for them. Danks coming off his best performance in a long time in the opener here on Friday. Johnny, 7 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and just dominated the Oriole hitters. Had everything working for him. Didn't hang any change-ups. Had a big curveball. Best curveball he's had in a long time.
When you have that kind of stuff, you can't wait to go back out there. It seems like forever between starts.
Cues that one off the end of the bat. Blue Jays are going to run Burley out there tomorrow. To be announced on Tuesday, Drew Hutchinson, who is 8-2 on Wednesday, and R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer, on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll be 3 games against the Cubs at Wrigley. Then the All-Star break. That'll do it. Strikes him out. Gets a couple of strikeouts in the inning, and we're into the 8th, trailing by 7.
It's a Honda game summary. It's an 8-1 game, and Carlos Rodon went 5 innings, gave up only 4 hits, 4 runs. 2 were scored when he was out of the game. 3 earned runs on 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. He had pretty good stuff today. The Orioles bat around in the 7th, where for all practical purposes they put this one away. A lot of errors, 4 of them for our Sox. Brought to you by the Honda Dream Garage Sales Event, now at your Honda dealer. Scott Carroll comes in the ball game. There you look at the numbers: 1-1, ERA 3.60, on for the 11th time, and he's on to get 6 outs. Maybe the offense can come back. J.B. Shuck takes over in left field. Emilio Bonifacio checks in at second base.
And here's David Lowe. He started off that 4-run 7th with a line drive single into left field. Well, you might as well go ahead and get it all out today, all the bad stuff, because we sure have been bad. One out. Here's Adam Jones. He is 1 for 3, an RBI double, a walk, and a run scored. Outfield straight up. Out and around that one. Top of the 7th in Detroit, 7-3 Toronto. Top of the 5th in Kansas City, 2-1 Twinkies. Can't get it. Bottom of the 7th at Fenway, 4-3 Houston. Pittsburgh came back and beat Cleveland 5-3 at PNC. Cleveland was leading 3-0. That's down and one hops the fence, so he's going to pick up his second double.
That ball on the inner portion was actually out of the strike zone, and he just rifles it into left field.
So here's Chris Davis. He's 1 for 3. RBI single last inning, and he came around to score. Cubs shut out the Marlins 2-0. Hendricks over Latos. That's souvenir left side. Brew Crew beat Cincinnati 6-1. Phillies in 10 beat Atlanta 4-0. Call gets away.
This appears to be a day where the Kansas City Royals will pick up a game on everyone in the division. Indians lost. Tigers lost. If this keeps going as it is, our ball club will have lost.
Kansas City scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th to win it 3-2. Toronto 10, Detroit 5. That's the final. That's high and deep in the left field. He jumps and makes a catch. Davis yesterday and today. Beautiful play by J.B. Shuck. Chris
is probably wondering, number one, how do you get the ball out of the park? And number two, when am I going back to Baltimore, where both of those would have been long gone? Nice play by J.B. Davis, very strong and loves the ball down, and both these robbed home runs were down in the zone. This one not quite as dramatic, but pretty good for J.B., who reaches over the wall, takes it away, and it turns into a very long sacrifice fly.
Well, he made the perfect move with his glove hand. He pushed it back to make sure he knew exactly where the fence was. The one thing you don't want to do on an effort like that is get caught up in the fence when you jump.
And he says, I've had enough. I obviously cannot get it out of here. The ballpark wins. That is RBI number 51, however, second of the day for Davis.
So here's Jimmy Paredes. He is 1 for 4 with a run scored. Way out in front. And to count 0-2. I mentioned Pittsburgh came back from a 3-0 deficit, scoring 5 in the 5th to win that game over Cleveland. Cole, the winner, Salazar, the loser. Melanson, 27 saves.
Mark Melanson looked awfully good when we played Pittsburgh.
Just got a piece of that one. Tampa Bay beat the Yankees 8-1. Boston came back to beat Houston 5. No, check that. They're leading bottom of the 7th 5-4. He gone, but they pick up a run. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 8.
We head into the bottom of the 8th as Steve Pearce shifts out to right field. Chris Parmalee comes in the game to play first base. And Bonifacio is going to get his first at bat.
That's up high. 9-1 bad guys here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Two 2-0. So it appears the season series is going to wind up tied at 3 games apiece.
And 2 streaks will come to an end. Our 4-game winning streak, their 3-game losing streak.
Nice pick by Parmalee.
They've had some very good first base play today. Pierce was excellent down there, and Parmalee just made a very good play.
again, a reminder, make your plans to be here tomorrow night with us at first with that 4-game series against Toronto. Chris Sale against Mark Burley. If you can't make it, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet.
And Mattis loosening up in the bullpen.
And Adam, high fly into left. Adam now 1 for 4 with that double back in the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Abreu. Jose is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Outside edge of the outside corner. That Kansas City run coming in the 9th. Eric Hosmer doubled in Lorenzo Cain, who had walked. That breaking ball strike. Houston game in Boston, Carlos Correa, the shortstop, hit his 7th home run. He was 3 for 3, 2 RBIs.
It's pretty amazing how quickly he's gotten acclimated to the major leagues, because there's really nothing he can't do.
It's high and souvenir time. Talking with him when Houston was in town, and he is a big shortstop and very powerful with a great arm. His major league debut was against Chris Sale. So I told him the next day, I said, it's not going to always be like that. That's up high. 2-2. Pitch was outside. It's been a guessing game for our guys with the home plate umpire today. J.J. Hardy to lead it off. He'll be followed by Jonathan Scope and then Caleb Joseph.
Giovanni Soto comes in behind the plate.
J.J. is 0 for 4 today. 1 for 10 in the series. Off the end of the bat on a breaking ball. 1 out. Just joining us, they scored 1 in the first. It was an unearned run, so it got us off to a bad start. Then they scored 1 in the second. It was a home run, a long home run by Jonathan Scope, who's at the plate right now. Then they added 2 in the sixth. 4 in the seventh, 1 in the eighth. So 9, 10, and 0 for them. 1-5 and a big 4 errors for us. Plus a couple plays that should have been made that were not. Off the fist, foul back.
Still plenty of time for a souvenir. Oh, he's already got one. Well, maybe a second one.
He gone. 2 down. So here's Joseph. He's had one of the big hits in this game. That was a 2-out, 2-run double in the 6th inning. So a lot of pitches. The count was 3-2, and then banged one into the gap in right center. One ball, 1 strike.
That one got Marcus Patillo, I believe. Normally when the catcher trots out to the mound for no apparent reason, it means that the umpire got hit.
Two out, 1-2 the count. Foul tipped. He gone. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We got a lot of work to do.
And it's Brian Mattis, who's 1-2. His ERA a very good 2.45 off of the 26th time. He was a former #1 draft pick, and when he was drafted #1, the Orioles thought he was going to be a starting pitcher. He was the beginning of his career, and now working exclusively out of the pen.
Here's Debbie Shuck. Debbie with the big hit in that ball game yesterday. Pinch hit double. Knocking in Gordon Beckham, who had walked to lead off the inning. That was in the 8th.
That one right off Joseph's mask and into the seats.
Good pitch, and he didn't get it. Count evens at 2 to Shuck. Top of the 4th inning in Los Angeles. Mets shutting out the Dodgers 2-0. After 3 in Phoenix, 4-1 Colorado. Right to Hardy. 1 out. Chris Sale against Mark Burley tomorrow night. So make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. If you can, it'll be over Comcast Sports Net. Here's Adam. He's going out deep to center, grounded to short, and then just flying to center. Jacks it up, takes first pitch strike. In that 5-3 Pittsburgh win over Cleveland, Garrett Cole 12-3 with a 2.28 ERA. Salazar took the loss. He's 7-4. That breaking ball fouled away left side. Two down. Seventh strikeout for Baltimore pitching. So here's Javi. Javi has popped second, singled, and struck out. Milwaukee 6-1 win over Cincinnati. Adam Lynn hit his 14th homer. We mentioned Kansas City beat Minnesota 3-2. Greg Holland the winner in that game. Two balls and a strike. And there's the walk.
Face painting and balloons. You can't beat it on a beautiful Sunday.
So here's Gillespie. 0 for 3, a strikeout, a ground out to first, and a ground out to second. Takes first pitch strike. If you're just tuning in, you didn't miss anything. Game started off bad in the first inning. Gave him an unearned run and then just got worse from there. Two out, 1 and 2 the count, down to our last bullet. Yes, he did, and this ball game is over. So we could not complete the sweep. Our 4-game winning streak is snapped. Baltimore's 3-game losing streak is snapped, and we'll be back.